Luka has not been his best this year. It's not been the prettiest year for the Mavs as far as efficiency goes.
What do you attribute it to? What do you attribute what we're seeing from Luka? Because you talked about Kyrie, and I encourage anybody who listens to this program, if you miss anything, go to the Odyssey app, download it. You will be glad you did. Check out the Fan After Dark. I think we did it in the second hour yesterday, but Blake waxed poetic on all things Dallas Mavericks, and his Kyrie take was right on the money. So what do you think is the issue right now with Luka?
Well, usually with Luka, we see him play a little bit of preseason and be very comfortable with his teammates. I think the whole Clay situation, I mentioned it a couple times. This has been the second lowest usage rate from Luka. And now usage rate, for those of you guys at home, does not just mean just dribbling the ball.
Because he does a lot of that.
Usage rate means at some point during the play, you have dribbled, assisted, or shot the ball.
Okay.
And it's usually meaning that you end with the shot. So there is multiple times where Luka is not the one bringing the ball up the court. Other guys are setting up and Kyrie just kind of takes it. Or Kyrie passes into PJ and he takes it. Or passes it to Clay or Dinwiddie and they shoot. More so, the only other time it's been lower was his rookie year.
Okay.
Because the years leading up to that, he has been the guy. Even when Kyrie was there, it was very obvious it was a Batman Robin thing. And then when Luka would go to the bench or Luka was tired, that's when Kyrie taking over.
Right.
But if you've been watching Mavs games this year, Luka's been full energy level as far as in the game, not tired, and Kyrie has taken over at certain points. And I think right now they're still just trying to figure out how can we be the best versions of both of ourselves right now. And Kyrie, who takes great care of his body in the offseason, understood what he needed to do, didn't have the best performance in the finals, knew the task a little bit more at hand, whereas Luka, we put him up on this pedestal and he deserves to be there, still averaging, I say all this, he's averaging 28.3 points, leading the team in assists at 8.1. Right now, it just feels like he's forcing things. You saw it in that Denver game.
He's just not been efficient.
He hasn't been efficient. You saw it in that Denver game. Right now, his assist to turnover ratio is not sexy, 2-6. So for...
Nothing sexy about that.
No. His field goal percentage right now, 41%. What do you think Kyrie's is? And they both are shooting guards that shoot threes a bunch, shoot
47.
long twos. Luka's shooting 41% from the field. Kyrie Irving, 53%.
Good God.
And that is, and percentage points, that's just like when you think of quarterback percentage, completion percentage.
Yeah.
Like every percent is a big deal. Like a guy who's a 70% completion percentage.
53% shooting, I don't give a damn who you are. That's good. I mean, field goal percentage in the NBA from a guard. A big man, okay, I could see that. But a guard shooting 53%, he's not going to keep that up, but it's a great start.
And Kyrie is shooting almost 6 threes a game.
Shocking him.
And he's shooting from three-point land, he's shooting 55%. Unheard of. Like I said, the only guard to do that since Ray Allen, averaging over 20 points per game. So more Kyrie stats, and then we'll get to more stuff around the NBA. Kyrie Irving has had 47 isolation possessions this season. So ISO, just mano a mano. He is producing 1.36 points per possession, which would be the best in the NBA, number one. Shooting 64% effective field goal percentage. That's factoring in threes and all that. Drawing free throws at a 10.6 efficiency of the time and only has 1 turnover. Insane efficiency. So this is the guy, when he's going mano a mano, it's pretty much a bucket 64% of the time. And if not, 10% of the time, he's drawing a foul and getting to the free throw line. And only one time he's had a turnover. And you told us, if you're watching Mavs games, you know exactly when that turnover was. It was the Suns game when he drove and Nurkic somehow Yusuf Nurkic, the center, was able to rip Kyrie Irving. But for the Mavs overall, they sit at 5-5, 11th in the Western Conference. But I want to talk about some other teams as well, because the Dallas Mavericks, unfortunately, are not the only team in the NBA. Right now, the Western Conference is as follows. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in first at 9-2. The Phoenix Suns, who you just played a couple nights ago, are at 8-2. The Warriors, who you played tonight in about 30 minutes, are 8-2 at third. The Nuggets, who were on a 7-game win streak. They lost the other night. They're 7-3 at fourth. Then the Rockets, Grizzlies, Lakers, Timberwolves, Clippers, Kings, and then your Dallas Mavericks sit out of the playoffs right now at the number 11 seed, followed by the Spurs, Blazers, Pelicans, and the Jazz. Any surprises?
No, not really. I mean, I am going to, and look, I've said this from the start of the season. and I'm gonna stick to it. If this team is still sitting at 10-9, 10-10 in 10 games, then I think it's time to start openly questioning what are we seeing, and kind of depending upon how it looks. Yeah. Not having Derek Lively's missed 4 games.
Yep. And he will be back tonight.
And you were 1-3 in that stretch that he was out. We have been huge proponents of, and look, we're fans of the Yacht Thompson signing. We're fans of the Najee Marshall signing. We're fans of Q Dot, even though he can't get off the bench. Derek Lively is the X factor to this basketball team because there's very few guys in the NBA that can do what Derek Lively does.
Defends at a high level, defends the basket really well. Also, he makes the offense so much more free-flowing. Unfortunately, I love Daniel Gafford. Know him as a person. Great human. But when it comes to Daniel Gafford, he's limited on offense.
He is. I mean, but he's good at what his role is, right?
He's running pick and roll, and he's diving to the basket.
Yeah.
Derek Lively can pick and pop to an extent where he can stop at the free throw line, catch it, survey the court, and kick it to Yacht Thompson on the wing.
Yes.
And get an open 3. He can drive 1-2 times and kick it to the corner or do a spin move and do a hook shot. Daniel Gafford is just diving to the rim, and that's what it is. Derek Lively gives you so much more versatility on offense.
Well, and he's a better defender, too.
Way better defender. I saw a stat the other day. Shout out to Iztok Franco. Did you know Daniel Gafford is in the 10th percentile? You don't want to be in the 10th.
Yeah. When
it comes to allowing opposing teams to get offensive rebounds. And this has been a problem since his Washington days, but it's kind of covered up when you're the backup center and you're only playing 15, 20 minutes against another backup or against maybe the second center. Yeah. But when you're playing more minutes, you're playing against...
No, you're starting.
You're going
25, 30 minutes a game.
You're going against Jokic, who is one of, not the best rebounders, and especially the best player in the game right now. He's going to get 15, 17 rebounds, and that's just extra possessions when your defense is already compromised, and now you're giving up extra possessions to great shooters and great players like the ones you've been playing over the last couple days.
I think there's just a lot of moving pieces right now to this Dallas Maverick team, and everything changes. You caught people off guard last year. All right. Nobody expected the Mavericks to do what they did last year. Nico did what he did at the deadline. You bring in P.J. Washington. Oh, by the way, P.J. Washington's going to miss his 5th game tonight,
P.J.
correct?
Washington out with the right knee sprain.
So let's take everything real quick. Let's take a step back, put everything in its totality, right? You've been without Derek Lively, who's the best young player on your basketball team. You've had P.J. Washington, who still has
probably your best defender.
Who? Oh, PJ? Yeah, right. Best wing defender, right? So, and also a guy who, again, is a spark plug offensively, can give you, quick chunk points and what have you. And you were banking on a few more things from PJ in the sense of, guess what? He's never played meaningful basketball to start the season off, all right? My man's been banished to Charlotte, okay? So now you're on a team that has NBA Finals aspirations, not playoffs.
Every single time teams come in to play the Mavs, they're giving them their best shot. There's no...
Oh, and you can tell. Like, you can tell the difference in the way teams played Dallas this year. You can tell the way TV takes care of that, the way TV broadcast. First, before it was just, hey, we're excited about Luka. Yeah. All right, and we're just going to... Now it's like, no. I mean, you got Yacht Thompson, you got Kyrie, you got Luka. I mean, this is a legitimate NBA Finals contender, right? And so... On top of all that, I don't know that Jason Kidd has had to deal with these expectations as a coach. He's dealt with them as a player.
My only pushback would be the Nets situation and the Bucks situation. He's had some big time players over there.
He's had some big time players over there. He absolutely has. I don't know. Were the Nets ever considered, like, as far as the way the Mavs are right now?
I mean, that's kind of up to a public opinion of how you.
I don't. I mean, I'll put it like this. I remember his. I mean, look, the most. What I remember the most about him with the Nets was when he bumped into Tyshawn Taylor and had him spill his drink so he could get a timeout.
Well,
that's the Jason Kidd I know.
Speaking of funny moments, my boy Mike Curtis of the Dallas Morning News asked Klay Thompson after Sunday's game, "You're returning to Golden State. Gonna be a big emotional moment. What's your feelings about this? Are you excited to come back to your home state and play in front of these fans?" And here's what Klay Thompson, the full press conference of him returning back to Golden State, sounded like.
Just what are the initial feelings about going back to Golden State, place you played for 13 seasons? So what are those initial emotions?
be good to see people that you grinded with, obviously. But to me, it's just another regular season game in November. Obviously, there's bigger implications with the NBA Cup. So that's what's on our mind, in my mind, is just to win that, because I haven't been a part of it yet. I know it's young, but it'd be fun to play for that title.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be difficult to kind of compartmentalize just everything that you're probably going to feel going into that arena and actually playing in the game?
No, I don't think so. I've been doing this a long time, and basketball is basketball.
Were you surprised that they're giving out the captain's hats?
I guess it's a good thing for the fans, so kudos to them.
What are your thoughts on him as a potential matchup? Like, since you're familiar, obviously, with like kind of the philosophy, the play style, what's most important? When you're kind of flipping that perspective, entering the matchup against him.
Probably share my knowledge with my teammates and coaches, and try and limit what they do well. Obviously, a high volume 3-point shooting team, and switch a ton on defense. So we'll go into Tuesday trying to counteract those two aspects.
Well,
NBA Cup. This NBA Cup today, not a big deal.
Is this the Yacht Thompson we were afraid of getting?
No, I'm cool. He's locked in. He said I'm locked and focused.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the body language?
He sounds frustrated.
Which is good. I will say this. I'd rather him sound frustrated.
He sounds frustrated.
I'm not mad at it. I'd rather him be that than be like, hey, I'm really excited about your Golden State. I'm so cheery. He's like, we're playing bad basketball. I don't care about a hometown tour.
No.
So I'd rather him be like this.
Yeah. It is a little, I'll say this. It's, again, we're only 10 games in, so let's not freak out too much just yet. But you did hear, the rumblings his last year were he could be a little petulant, and you worried about his attitude and his demeanor.
Well, we already had petulant, emotional guys on our team, so why not add one more?
Well, it just depends on who's doing the petulance. All right, and if it's some end of the bench guy,
well,
I don't care.
I mean, your best player on the team is emotional.
He is.
I think he would say it himself.
No, he absolutely is. I mean, I don't know if he'd feel good about being called petulant, but
that's why I said it.